Hey everybody, this is Dr. Block, and I want to welcome you to the audiobook of The Life of a Brave Bat. This is professionally narrated and was originally released under the title of The Diary of a Minecraft Bat. However, since I'm now giving it away for free, I wanted to change the name to differentiate it from the other book that used to be for sale on Amazon. So if you've read Diary of a Minecraft Bat, then you've already heard this one. But if you haven't, I hope you'll enjoy the narration. And now, without any further ado, let's get to the audiobook.
Chapter 1. They call me Swirly, but my real name is Jasper. I am a bat. I sleep all day and explore the overworld at night. Most of my friends think I am weird because I like to explore. But most of my friends are super boring and only want to fly around looking for things to eat. Unlike them, I crave adventure and knowledge. And sometimes you have to seek out both of those things. They don't just find you. That is actually how I got my nickname. I was exploring the depths of a cave and heard a strange noise. It was a loud rumbling sound, almost like an explosion, but the ground was not shaking, and the sound was continuous. I went deeper and deeper into the cave and found a massive underground waterfall. I flew down the length of the waterfall to the lake into which it fell. I flapped my wings to hover just above the lake. Inside the lake, the water was spinning around like a square top. I stared at the spinning water and was drawn to it like I was hypnotized. Without realizing what was happening, I fell in. I was pushed around and around in the whirlpool, which was not very enjoyable, for two reasons. First, I was getting wet. Second, as I spun around, I kept hitting a rock on the edge of the lake. Fortunately, my friend Arnold was exploring with me. Arnold is my coolest friend. He thinks I'm a bit weird, but he doesn't mind. He hovered above me, and I was able to grab hold of his feet so he could pull me out. "Did you enjoy your swirly, Jasper?" he asked, laughing. "No," I said. Arnold, of course, had to tell this story to all of our friends, and someone started calling me Swirly. "Don't call me Swirly," I would yell. Naturally, seeing how much discomfort it caused me, my friends kept calling me Swirly until it became my nickname. Whatever, I'm used to it now. I just wish I could convince more of my friends to come on adventures with me and Arnold. They have no idea what awesome things they are missing. Chapter 2. One night, Arnold and I were out flying around and looking for food. We were making chirping noises as part of our echolocation system. By the way, it is pretty cool to be able to see using sound. You should try it sometime. Anyhow, we had already found a few insects to eat, and we were thinking about looking for an oak tree so we could eat the apples from it. Shouldn't it be called an apple tree? I prefer fruit to insects any day. We were flying low above the forest looking for some oak trees with apples. Sometimes we found fruiting oak trees near farms established by players. It was during our search for fruit that Arnold noticed something. "Hey, Swirly, look over there," said Arnold, pointing with his wing. I looked over in the direction Arnold had pointed. I saw an opening to a cave we had never noticed before. "Wow," I said. "I don't think I've ever been inside of that cave." "Me neither," said Arnold. "Let's check it out." The two of us flew over to the entrance to the cave. It was 3 blocks high and 2 blocks wide, and went straight into the mountain for quite some distance. Because we were nocturnal animals, we could easily see in the dark and had no need for torches in order to explore the cave. And even if it had been pitch black, we could have used our echolocation to find our way. We flew inside the cave and soon came to a fork in the entry passage. We never like to explore a cave passage alone because it is far too dangerous, so we had to decide which passage to take. Whenever we had to make a decision about exploration, we made that decision playing rock, paper, scissors. Whoever won the game would choose the passage. 1, 2, 3, shoot, I said. I stuck out my wing, holding it flat like a piece of paper. At the same time, Arnold put out his wing, with the points of his claw separated like a pair of scissors. He won. Arnold decided we should go down the passageway on the left. As we went deeper and deeper into the passage, it was clear that the passage had been formed naturally. It was not a mine. If it had been, I would have been on alert for TNT traps, or even players who were mining. We could hear the flow of water somewhere within the passage. Occasionally, we noticed gleaming ore in the walls. "That looks like redstone ore," said Arnold. "It sure does," I said. "I bet some of those players who like to mine the overworld would be really happy to find this place." After walking for about 10 minutes, we came to a portion of the passageway that descended very rapidly. We followed the passageway down until it opened into another large chamber. It was probably 10 blocks by 15 blocks, with irregular edges, just as a natural chamber should be. In the center of the chamber was a small pool of lava, which cast a bright orange glow against the walls of the chamber. I could see various types of ore in the wall reflecting the glow of the lava. As we stood there, staring at the glinting reflections inside the chamber, we heard a clicking noise. "Sounds like a spider," said Arnold. I wasn't quite sure that was what it sounded like. "Well, if it is a spider, it sounds like a really big spider." Arnold shrugged. "Maybe it's a bunch of spiders." Arnold was not too concerned, and neither was I. Spiders and bats get along fairly well. We are all predominantly cave dwellers, and both species like to eat insects, so we actually have a lot in common. After a moment, though, I saw what was making the noise, and it was not a spider. Chapter 3. I tapped Arnold on the shoulder to draw his attention away from the glow of the lava pool. When he looked at me, I pointed and said, "Dude, that is not a spider." Arnold looked over where I was pointing, and after his eyes nearly popped out of his head, he said, "Holy bits and pieces, Swirly! What is that thing?" Before us stood a horse, but it was not a regular horse. Instead, it was made entirely of bones. It was a skeleton horse, and it was coming right towards us. What are you?" I stammered. The horse looked at us and tilted its skull back and forth like it was sizing us up. I wasn't sure if he was thinking about eating us or attacking us or just walking away. All I knew was that this horse was very creepy. "I'm a skeleton horse," said the skeleton horse. "Yes, I could tell you were the skeleton of a horse," I said. "But how did you become a skeleton horse?" The horse shook its neck back and forth as if to flip its mane, but because it was just bones, it made a spooky crackling noise instead. Then the horse said, "I have always been a skeleton horse. I was spawned this way." It was then that I remembered I had once heard a rumor about the existence of skeleton horses. One of the wise old bats who lived in my cave had told me that he had seen skeleton horses wandering in the overworld many years ago. However, he had not seen one in a long time, and had heard that, for whatever reason, they no longer spawned in the overworld. "How old are you?" I asked. "I do not know," said the horse. "I just know that one day I was walking in the forest, and the next moment I was inside this cave. I have not been able to find my way out of the cave since." "That's really strange," I said. "Were you teleported to the cave or something?" "I don't know how I got here," said the horse. "It was almost instantaneous. It was as if someone decided to remove me from the overworld, and instead of killing me or despawning me, that same someone put me somewhere from which I could never escape or bother anyone. I shook my head sadly and said, "Gee, that doesn't sound like much fun." The horse looked at me with its empty eye sockets. I don't know how I could tell, but I felt as though the horse was almost crying. "Yes," said the horse. "It was not a very nice thing to do. I have been lonely for a long time." "Why don't you come with us?" said Arnold. "We know how to get out of here." The horse hesitated. "I don't know if that would be such a good idea," said the horse. "A power greater than me and greater than both of you put me in this cave for a reason. I think I should stay here." "That's ridiculous," I said. "You shouldn't let some invisible force control what you do and who you are. I think you should come with us." The horse stood there for a moment, contemplating our offer. He had no expression on his face, other than the creepy grin of bright white teeth in his skull, but I could tell he was considering the proposal. He shook the bones that would have been his tail and flipped his head back and forth as he thought. Finally, the horse said, "I appreciate your offer, but I think I will stay here in the cave. If I knew there were more horses like me, I might leave the cave to visit with them, but I fear that I may be the last skeleton horse living in the overworld. I would rather be here by myself." I had to respect the horse's wishes, though I had hoped he would come with us. "I understand," I said. "Arnold and I will come back and visit you in a few days so that you can have someone to talk to." "We will?" said Arnold, somewhat surprised. I elbowed Arnold with one of my wings. "Of course we will, you jerk. We have to talk to Skeleton Horse so that he will not be so lonely." "Okay, I guess that would be a good thing to do," said Arnold. The Skeleton Horse reared up on its hind legs and let out a strange neighing that sounded like a combination between a whistle and a rock grinder. When his feet returned to the ground, he said, "That sounds great, Bats. By the way, what are your names?" We introduced ourselves as Arnold and Jasper, though of course Arnold had to tell the Skeleton Horse that my nickname was Swirly. "My nickname used to be Bones," said the Skeleton Horse, "but my real name is Domino." "Nice to meet you, Domino," I said. "Hey, Swirly, we probably should get going back to our own cave," said Arnold. "I think it will be daylight soon and we should get some sleep." "Yeah, I think you're right," I replied. I looked over at Domino, who was standing in the corner of the chamber. "Okay, Domino," I said. "We will be back in a few days to talk to you and tell you about our adventures." "That would be great," said Domino. "Goodbye." Chapter 4. A few nights later, I was playing games with some of my bat friends, including Arnold. We were playing hide-and-go-seek, capture the apple, and dive bomb. We were having a lot of fun. One of my friends named Marcus pointed to a faraway hill with his wing and said, "Let's see who can fly to the top of that hill the fastest." "Okay," we all said. "On your mark, get set, go!" shouted Marcus. We took to the air and flew as fast as we could. I tried hard, but could never win these speed games. I got there 5th out of 6 bats. When I landed, I was breathing hard. I leaned forward and put the tips of my wings on my scrawny knees while I caught my breath. "Wow," I said. "That was tough. Who won?" I did not get any response. I stood up and said, Guys, who won?" "Who cares?" said Marcus. "Look!" I looked and saw something I had never seen before. It was a large black rectangle made from what appeared to be obsidian. Inside the black rock rectangle, a strange glowing purple substance rippling with the spinning of many vortexes. "What is that?" I asked, completely amazed by what I was seeing. "We thought you might know," said Arnold. "You're the one always talking to the old bats in our cave." I shook my head. "No one has ever mentioned a glowing purple box before." Maybe it's some weird art project, suggested my friend Flea. His real name was John, but he was very small for his age, so we called him Flea. I guess it wasn't a very nice nickname, but neither is Swirly. That's ridiculous, Flea, said Arnold. Who would make an art project out here? Flea shrugged. Maybe a player would. Muttered Arnold as he considered Flea's words. Actually, you might have something there, Flea. Players are always doing weird stuff. What do you think that purple stuff is? I asked. It looks like it might be soft. Let's find out, said Arnold as he bent down and picked up a rock. Here it goes, he said as he tossed the rock into the purple stuff. We watched in amazement as the rock went right through the purple. Let's try that again, I said, walking behind the rectangle to retrieve the rock. But there was no rock. Hey, Arnold, I said. What? Pick up another rock and toss it through the purple stuff. I want to see where it lands this time. Okay, said Arnold, as he picked up another rock and tossed it through the rectangle. But the rock did not go through the rectangle, it disappeared inside of it. What? I said, amazed. The rock disappeared. I don't like this, said Flea. Do you know what this means? I said. It means that this rectangle might be a portal to another dimension. I had always wanted to discover another dimension. This might be my chance. Yeah, right, said Marcus. Prove it. Okay, I said. Come over here and stand on this side of the portal. Marcus came over and stood by me. Now, stay there, and I'll go around the other side and stick my wing into the portal. If it is just a thin purple thingy, my wing should stick out the other side, right? Marcus shrugged. I suppose. I walked around and put my wing into the purple. The tip of my wing began to feel warm. Not hot, just warm. So? I asked. Dude, I don't see anything, said Marcus. That's insane. I think we should see what's on the other side of this portal, I said. No way. Nope. Forget it. You are crazy. Yeah, let's do it, said Arnold. I knew I could count on Arnold for an adventure. Okay, you wimpy bats. Me and Arnold are going to see what this other dimension is like. You wait here, I said. If we aren't back in an hour, go tell one of the old bats what happened. They all nodded. I looked at Arnold. Ready? Let's do this. And we leapt into the void. Chapter 5. After we jumped, things were black for a moment, and then we emerged into a strange region. It's pretty warm in here, isn't it, Swirly? Said Arnold. Yeah, and look at the strange orange and red glow everything has, I said. We looked behind us and saw the portal. I guess we can get back to the guys if we go through that, I said. Probably, said Arnold. Come on, let's look around. We did not want to risk flying in this strange dimension, so we walked. We walked slowly and quietly, not knowing what hazards might be waiting for us. We soon realized why this place was so warm and why everything had a red-orange glow. There was lava everywhere. Pools of it, streams of it. It was crazy. Arnold, it feels like we are inside the ground, I said. Arnold nodded. Yeah, maybe we aren't really in another dimension. Maybe it's just hundreds of blocks below the surface of the overworld. As we pondered our galactic coordinates, we walked around a corner and saw a horde of zombies. Or they looked sort of like zombies. As we got closer, we realized it was about 20 zombie pigmen. Whoa, said Arnold. I've never seen so many zombie pigmen in one place. I've always liked zombie pigmen. They are not as aggressive as zombies, and they are usually willing to spend some time talking to you, since they aren't in a hurry to find a villager to kill. Hi, guys, I said as we walked up to the horde. They all looked at us, and then one of them said, "What are you?" "We're bats." "What is a bat?" said another of the pigmen. "You don't have bats down here?" asked Arnold. "What do you mean, down here?" asked a pigman. "Here is simply here. No down, no up." "Let me guess," I said. "You don't travel often?" I probably should not have been making fun of the zombie pigman, but I could not help myself. "What does travel mean?" asked the pigman. "Derp," I said as I slapped my forehead with my wing. "Never mind." Arnold and I left the zombie pigmen to their aimless wandering. They were not as fun to talk to as the zombie pigmen in the overworld. At least those in the overworld knew what traveling was. Sheesh. Chapter 6. We soon noticed another strange creature of this region. It looked like a large, floating white cube, with tentacles hanging on the underside of its body. When we first noticed this strange creature, it was floating aimlessly with its eyes and mouth closed. "It must be asleep," I whispered to Arnold. "Probably. Should we wake it up?" he asked. "I'm wide awake," said the creature, startling us with its high-pitched whine. "Sorry, we've never been, here, so we don't know what lives here," I said. "You have never been to the Nether?" asked the strange cube. "Is that where we are?" I asked. "Yes, of course," said the creature, annoyed at our ignorance. "I've never heard of the Nether," said Arnold. "I haven't either," I said. The creature let out a high-pitched sound like a meowing cat. I think it was laughing at us. "How sad," said the creature. "The Nether is a wonderful place." I was not sure I could believe this creature. The Nether certainly was a different place, but I would not have used the word wonderful to describe it. "So what are you?" I asked. "I am aghast," it said. "Aghast at what?" Arnold asked. "No, you idiot. I am aghast," said the ghast. "Oh," said Arnold. "It's just that I noticed the tracks of your tears on your face and thought maybe you had been aghast at something and had been crying." "Leave my presence," said the now angry ghast, "or else I will spit a fireball at you." "Let's get out of here," I said to Arnold as I grabbed his wing. We took to the air and flew for a minute, leaving the ghast far behind. When we landed, Arnold said, "That ghast thing had no sense of humor." "Why don't you let me do the talking the next time we meet a mysterious creature, okay?" I said. Arnold crossed his wings defensively. "Okay, whatever." I shook my head. I did not like bickering with my friend, but this Nether place was obviously not entirely safe. I've always been better at understanding strange creatures, so I had to take the lead. "Come on, Arnold, let's keep exploring." Chapter 7. We had not gone far when Arnold spotted something weird. It looked like a dark red and black cube, but it was bouncing up and down. "Do you think it is some sort of weird mineral?" I suggested. "Could be," said Arnold. "But even in this strange place, I can't imagine there would be a bouncing rock." "But if it is a bouncing rock, we can rewrite the laws of physics," I said, suddenly very excited. Arnold looked at me with this "you are such a nerd" look and said sarcastically, "Yeah, dude, we totally could." I punched him in the wing. "Let's take a closer look." We walked slowly over to the dark, bouncing black cube. As we approached, the cube suddenly turned around, and we saw that it had red, orange, and yellow eyes. I was so shocked that I yelled, "It's alive!" "Of course I am alive," said the creature with a gravelly voice. We thought maybe you were a bouncing rock, I said.
Well, said the creature, that is partly correct. I am a magma cube, so I am a bouncing liquid rock.
How do you hold your cube shape then? Asked Arnold, already breaking our deal that I do the talking.
I don't know,
said the magma cube.
Why do you have wings?
I don't know, said Arnold. Good point, Cube. So, do you have a name? I asked.
No,
said the magma cube. Oh, I said. Well, what do you do all day?
I bounce, and if I see a player, I attack him or her, said the cube.
Why? Asked Arnold.
I don't know, said the magma cube. Why do you ask so many questions?
I don't know, said Arnold. Good point. I could tell we were not going to get anywhere with this magma cube philosopher. So I said, well, we need to be on our way. Goodbye, magma cube.
Where are you going?
Asked the magma cube. I think we will go in that direction, I said, pointing.
Be careful, said the magma cube. A fearsome creature awaits in that direction.
Is it dangerous? Asked Arnold, his voice betraying fear.
Very, said the magma cube. But what is worse is its horrific appearance.
What does it look like? I asked, scared and excited at the same time. Adventure and knowledge, here we come.
It is too horrible to describe, said the magma cube. Now go away.
I was disappointed that the magma cube would not tell us more about this allegedly fearsome creature, but it was seeming more and more like the inhabitants of the Nether were very inhospitable. Arnold and I left the magma cube to its bouncing and went off to find the fearsome creature. Chapter 8. In light of the magma cube's warning, what had started as a sightseeing tour of the Nether had now become a mission of discovery and survival. We jumped at every little sound and shadow. We thought we saw monsters where there were none. We noticed that the high-pitched wails of the ghasts echoed in this area. There must have been many of them around, but we did not see any. Where are all the ghasts hiding? I asked. Arnold shrugged. Maybe they are staying away from the fearsome creature? I shivered. What do you think this creature is? I have a lot of scary ideas, but I think we should not let our imaginations go crazy here, said Arnold. So far, we've met some freaks in the Nether, but no one I would call fearsome. Maybe you are right, I said, feeling a bit more relaxed. Yeah, said Arnold. That magma cube was probably just a wimp. A few minutes later, we beheld an unexpected sight. Someone, or something, had created a small opening in a wall. Minecart tracks started just outside the opening and went inside. Let's check it out, I said. Arnold agreed, and we ducked inside the opening. The landscape on the other side of the wall looked exactly like the rest of the Nether. The only obvious difference were the minecart tracks extending into the distance and then curving around a small hill. We followed the tracks, assuming they would lead to something of interest. When we got around the curve in the tracks, we saw they ended at a wall. It was as if someone had built the wall directly on top of the tracks. Dead end, said Arnold. Yep, I said. I guess we should go back. Arnold started tapping me excitedly on the shoulder. Dude, look at that, he said, pointing. I saw a shiny rectangular object a few blocks to the left of where the wall covered the tracks. Is that made of diamonds? I asked. Arnold rushed over to the object and pushed it upright. Holy extravagant lifestyle, Swirly. It's a diamond minecart. What? What would you need a diamond minecart for? I don't know, dude, said Arnold. Wait until we tell the guys about this. They'll never believe it. After trying unsuccessfully to break a few pieces of diamond from the minecart, we turned around and started to follow the tracks back to the opening. Gee, Arnold, there must be something important in here for someone to lay all that track and build a diamond minecart, I said. Yeah, I wish we could figure out what it is, said Arnold. Who knows? Maybe the fearsome creature lives in here. As we walked, I scanned the area for any clues, but I saw nothing. When we got to the opening back to the rest of the Nether, I turned around and scanned the area one last time. That was when I saw it. Arnold, look, I said, up there on top of that terraced slope. Arnold squinted in the direction I was pointing. Is that what I think it is? A cage. Chapter 9. We walked over to the base of the terraced slope. We could have flown to the top quickly, but we wanted to be careful with our approach, so we hopped quietly up each level of the slope. As we moved up the slope, we got a better view of the cage. It looked huge, at least 20 blocks long on the side facing us. It appeared to be made out of some dark black blocks. When we got to the final level before the top, I put my wing on Arnold's shoulder to stop him from going further. Arnold, I whispered, we do not know what is in that cage, so let's just peek over the edge before we rush up there. Agreed, said Arnold. We both slowly raised our heads over the final layer to look at the cage. When we did, I could not believe what we were seeing. Kismet, said Arnold. What? Destiny. Fate. He was right. What we saw near the back of the cage about 20 blocks away was a skeleton horse. We stood up and climbed to the final level and stood at the edge of the cage. The horse did not notice us. It was standing with its head down. It looked sad. Horse, I shouted. Horse, over here! The skeleton horse slowly raised its head and then turned to look at us. The horse neighed, sounding just like Domino's neigh, like a combination between a whistle and a rock grinder. It walked over to us slowly. I never thought I'd see two bats down here. Who are you? It asked. Jasper and Arnold, I said. What is your name? My name is Quick. Really? Asked Arnold. Yes, said Quick. When I was tamed, the player who tamed me named me Quick. Did the player put you here? No, I do not know how I got here. One day I was grazing in the overworld, and the next I was here, said Quick. Do you know Domino? I asked. Quick neighed excitedly. Yes, we were friends in the overworld. He had also been tamed by the same player. How can you know Domino? We found him in a cave in the overworld a few days ago, said Arnold. Oh, how I would love to see him again, said Quick mournfully. But I cannot get out of this prison. There must be a way you can get out, said Arnold. I have already tried everything I can think of. The cage is too strong to break with my hooves, and I cannot dig into the ground, said Quick. I am trapped forever. In that moment, I was struck with a sudden inspiration. Oh my gosh, I think I might be able to get you out, I said. How? Asked Arnold. Instead of answering, I took off and flew back to where we had found the diamond minecart. I searched the area, hoping I could find it. If they abandoned a minecart, they must have also left behind a... Yes! I shouted aloud. There, resting on the ground behind a pile of rocks, was a pickaxe. I grabbed the pickaxe and flew back to the cage. Chapter 10. It did not take long to free Quick. I just picked away at the nether rack underneath the cage until there was an opening large enough for him to fit through. Arnold and I cheered as he burst forth from his prison, rearing up and neighing several times before trotting down the terraced slope. When he got to the bottom of the slope, he ran back and forth, testing the strength of his bony legs. Once Quick had calmed down some, he said, "How do we get to Domino?" "We have to walk back to the portal that brought us to the nether," I said. "Will we have to pass by the creatures of the nether?" Quick asked, wearily. "Probably," I said. "We talked to some of them on the way here." "I was afraid of that," said Quick. "They don't like me very much." "Why?" asked Arnold. "They think I am some sort of evil creature put in the cage by some strange force," said Quick. "They call me the fearsome creature." Arnold laughed, slapping his sides with his wings. "Really? You are the fearsome creature?" "Yes," said Quick as he hung his head. "Sometimes the nether mobs walk up to my cage and throw rocks at me. It is mean." "Wow," I said. "That's terrible." "Yeah, it was," said Quick. "But now I am free thanks to you two. Just get me out of here." "Let's go," said Arnold. "And if anyone tries to throw a rock at you, they will have to answer to me." "Calm down, tough guy," I said. "Let's just get out of here with no hassle and get back to our friends in the overworld." We walked to the portal, retracing our steps. When we saw the bouncing magma cube, the cube screamed and then bounced himself into a pool of lava and swam across to the other side. Once he was safe, he yelled, "Look out, bats! The fearsome creature is right next to you!" "Duh," said Arnold. "He's cool, Cube," I said. "He is not cool," wailed the magma cube. "He is fearsome and evil." "Whatever," I said. We continued to walk, leaving the magma cube quivering in its corner. After a few more minutes, we came to the ghast. He was floating above a burning block of netherrack as we approached. He was meowing like a cat who had just inhaled some helium from a birthday balloon. "Hey, Ghast, what's up?" said Arnold. The ghast opened his eyes and emitted a high-pitched scream. He looked directly at the skeleton horse and spit a fireball at him. "Great balls of fire, Swirly," said Arnold. "Let's get out of here." The three of us ran away as quickly as we could, the ghast in hot pursuit, spitting fireballs at us. "Quick," I said to the horse. "Run as fast as you can. Me and Arnold can fly just in front of you and lead the way." Quick neighed his agreement with the plan and started running. Quick was true to his name and could run very fast, almost as fast as Arnold and I could fly. Soon, the ghast had given up the chase, and we were able to slow down and catch our breath. "These nether creatures really do fear you, Quick," I said. "It's crazy." "Dude," said Arnold, pointing. "Look." Up ahead, we could see the portal to the overworld, just beyond the horde of 20 zombie pigmen. "That's a lot of pigmen," said Quick. "They really don't like me." Just as he said that, one of the pigmen noticed Quick and said, "It is the fearsome creature! Attack!" "Just great," I said. Quick was looking from side to side, trying to find an escape route. "I have a plan," he said. "You guys fly to the portal and I'll catch up." "No," said Arnold. "We can't leave you here." "Trust me," said Quick. "Come on, Arnold, let's go," I said. Arnold reluctantly took flight, and I was right behind him. We flew over the horde of zombie pigmen, who did not even glance in our direction. They were fixated on Quick. We landed on top of the portal and watched. We noticed that Quick was running back in the direction we had come. "What is he doing?" asked Arnold. "I don't know," I said. As the horde of pigmen approached him, Quick suddenly turned around and ran towards them at full speed. "He's insane," said Arnold. "He's going to try to run through them." It looked like Arnold was right, but I hoped he was not. I don't think even a super-fast horse like Quick could make it through a horde of pigmen. Quick was approaching with blazing speed as the pigmen closed in on him. Just as it looked like he was going to be smothered by the pigmen, Quick leapt from the ground and started running on top of the heads of the pigmen. "Holy migraine headache, Swirly," said Arnold. "Look at that." I watched as Quick danced across the heads of the pigmen. With each stride, he came closer to safety. With each stride, a pigman fell under his speedy hooves. Finally, Quick got to the end of the horde of pigmen and jumped to the ground. Arnold and I cheered and yelled, "Awesome!" "Piece of cake," said Quick. "Let's get out of here." We turned and jumped into the portal, ready to leave the Nether behind. Chapter 11. When we arrived back in the overworld, I admit I was relieved. Our friends were waiting there for us, along with one of the old bats from our cave. Our friends cheered and were rushing forward to greet us just as Quick emerged from the portal. "Ah! What is that?" they shouted. "That's our friend Quick," said Arnold. "He is a skeleton horse." The old bat walked slowly forward and pet the skeleton horse's ribcage. "Wow," said the old bat. "I have not seen one of these mods since I was a wee child. I thought they had gone extinct." "Not extinct," I said. "In fact, we are taking him to meet his friend Domino." "Who is Domino?" asked the old bat. "Another skeleton horse we found in a cave a couple days ago," said Arnold. "We were keeping it a secret." "Amazing," said the old bat. "You kids sure have some astounding adventures." As we led Quick to the cave to meet Domino, we told our friends and the old bat all about our adventures in the Nether. "I am never, ever, ever going to the Nether," said Flea. "Probably a good idea," I said. When we got to Domino's cave, Arnold and I led Quick inside. "It will only take a few minutes to get to Domino's chamber," I told Quick. When we got there, Quick neighed to announce his arrival, and Domino galloped over to us as quickly as he could. "Quick? Quick, is that you?" asked Domino. "Yes, my old friend, it is," said Quick. The two horses moved forward and reared up. They moved their hooves up and down at each other in greeting. "It's like a horse bro hug," said Arnold, tears forming in his eyes. After a moment, Quick and Domino came over to us. "Thank you for finding my friend," said Domino. "I wasn't sure you would even come back, but you did, and you came with Quick. Thank you." "You are welcome," I said. "Yes," said Quick. "We are reunited and it feels so good." Okay, I said. Weird. After that, we led Domino and Quick to the mouth of the cave. It was still dark outside, so they told us they would wait for the sun to come up before they ventured outside to run on the grass. Arnold and I said goodbye to the horses and told them to visit our cave any time they wanted to. Then we went home to our cave and fell into a deep sleep. The end.